The recent national championship win by Ohio State got me thinking, who was the college football team of the 90s? And college football was so different back then because you really had so many incredible stories. Nebraska was considered with 3 of the 10 best seasons. Um, Derek Crouch era actually outdid when Tommy Frazier, which was saying something. And they were led by Lawrence Phillips. When I think about Lawrence Phillips, it's sad how everything turned out for him because he was something else in college, and they had on my green. They were beasting. The Cornhuskers was the truth. I had a buddy back then. I've been a Wolverine fan, and we got down in '97, but Nebraska was running things back in the '90s. It might not seem like it now because Tom Osborne all that, but they was running things back in the day. They were bad back in the '90s. They were the standards, and they had some of the best teams overall. Obviously, 1991. Well, you think about college football now where they can settle it on the field. Back then, it was the coaches' poll because the Hurricanes, Miami Hurricanes and the Washington Huskies were co-national champions in 91. And there was smack talk by the Hurricanes talking about, we ain't going to go all the way out there. You know, the Huskies made a statement when they beat my Michigan Wolverines because Desmond Howard did get the Heisman Trophy, but they smashed him up. I never forgot that. But there were other notable teams. Of course, those same Hurricanes got smashed in the Sugar Bowl by Nebraska. Was it Alabama? Yeah, I remember that game. What a beatdown that was. That was a beatdown. So, when you think about that era, that particular time period, it was quite something else when you had certain teams that were flexing and they were doing their thing. But I would probably say Nebraska was the best team um, overall. The Hurricanes had the hype and they had the allure. They were the ones in Florida. State was in there. The Huskies had a run there. Michigan had a little run in there. You had a few, but Nebraska and then probably Miami were like the teams that, with the hype and the factors. There was some other situations there, but Nebraska pretty much ran that era. If I'm thinking back to 90s college football, the talent was there. They had the depth and they were a handful, and you think about it because college football is so different when we go by eras because of what they did with the coaching and how things would have been. It was very different, vastly with what you see and the totality. But make no mistake about it, those Cornhusker teams were something else. They were not going to, um, easier said than done. You had to deal with them. Them boys was coming, and they played a certain brand of football.